The US and its NATO allies are now trading threats. People here say it's the worst it's been since the 1940s and earlier. As leaders here were making their way up the Swiss mountain, President Trump was stoking the flames of a trade war with Europe over his desire to acquire Greenland. He wrote in a letter to Norway's Prime Minister that he no longer feels bound to think purely of peace after failing to win the Nobel Peace Prize. It comes after Mr. Trump said he would impose new tariffs on European countries unless a deal for Greenland is reached. Keir Starmer, the British Prime Minister, called the threat completely wrong.
And so any decision about the future status of Greenland belongs to the people of Greenland and the Kingdom of Denmark alone. That right is fundamental, and we support it. The use of tariffs against allies is completely wrong. It is not the right way to resolve differences within an alliance.
Now, Europe is considering a range of responses. It's also thinking of its trade bazooka, the EU's anti-coercion instrument. It was created, the ACI as we'll call it from now on. It was created in 2023. It was China that was in mind. It allows a block a range of measures, include actually shutting off access to European markets, imposing export controls, etc., etc. They would have a particularly severe effect on the US tech industry and companies that operate in Europe. Joining me with Gillian Tett, Financial Times columnist, a member of its editorial board. Did you ever think, you and I have been around this table a long time.
Absolutely.
Did you ever think we would see NATO allies threatening each other like this?
I mean, I think we've done probably about a dozen Davoses at this point. And the answer is this is the craziest Davos we have ever been to, not just because of the logistics, but just because of the scale of threats, counter threats, and the sense that people just do not know where we're going to be in 3 months, 6 months' time. Maybe this will blow over like so many of Trump's threats, but maybe there's talk right now about us sliding towards serious conflict.
But you see, if it does blow over, let's take the best case scenario. It blows over. The damage has been done. The trust, which was already evaporated from Venezuela, from the earlier threats of tariffs, from the whole trade policy.
Yeah, I mean, as any family therapist would say, faced with a dysfunctional family, once trust is broken, it's very hard to restore. And the problem right now is there is a sense that the transatlantic relationship is, if not completely broken, then seriously frayed. And putting that back is going to be very, very hard.
Listening over the weekend to those like Scott Bessant, Europe is weakness, America is strength. Europe will eventually give in. They won't have the stomach for the fight. That's what people are saying here, that Europe, I don't want to use the word capitulate, but that Europe hasn't got the wherewithal to see this out.
Well, that is a big question right now. I've just come from a dinner and there were a number of people there saying, well, in fact, there's going to be a deal cut for Europe essentially to give Greenland to President Trump, maybe in exchange for some support in Ukraine or something like that. But Europe just has not got the strength. However, the question is though, I've also been speaking to some European leaders today, and what they were saying is that this time actually is a bit different. There is a sense of a red line being crossed. And so the question really now in the next 24, 48 hours is, will the European leaders come together and actually show sufficient resolve to stand up to a bully and to try and punch back?
But then who is the person that stands up to them? Because as long as you've got a commission and a council and a this and a that.
It's really going to boil down to Macron, Starmer and Merz. Those are the three key figures at the moment. And the reason is this: if Europe hits back on some kind of retaliation, tariffs on goods are not the critical issue. It's really about services, digital services and financial services. For that, you need the British involved. You probably need to have France and Germany working together very closely. So the key question is, can you get a joint front from the British, French and Germans together to talk about services, not just traded goods?
All right, well, you get a chance to join our board. We decided we had enough pessimism. So the question we're asking this year, and also most of the people wouldn't want to answer just how bad the situation we are in, is what gives you hope?
what gives me hope.
Right here, come on. Choose your
Okay.
colour.
All right, I'm going to choose red because everything right
Yes!
now is red.
All right.
Is realism.
Oh, wow.
Because here's the issue. Europe has been living, frankly, in cloud cuckoo land for too long. And if nothing else, if there's a silver lining on these horrific events right now, is twofold. Firstly, it actually is making Europeans wake up and realise they need to get their act together and come together and show strength. And secondly, you're beginning to see elements within the Republican Party, within Trump's entourage, actually beginning to say, maybe this is not right. Why are we doing this for Greenland?
It is good to see you. Have a good Davos as
Thank
best
you.
you can. There you have the wording of the day.